Hello everyone, welcome to Sitting with Shireen. Tonight I have the awesome privilege to sit with the beautiful, the intelligent, the extremely gifted and talented Willissa Mackey. We are sitting tonight. Welcome, beautiful.
Thank you, so gorgeous. It's great to be here.
Yes,
Thank you.
And I'm so excited for what we're going to talk about tonight. You know, life is a journey.
Yes.
And throughout life we encounter things. And tonight we're going to talk about the journey of profession and passion. Two things that I have observed and admired this lady handle with grace and elegance and a whole lot of Jesus. Okay? So we are going to get into her journey with hopes that it helps you along your journey of professionalism and whatever your God-given passion, talents and giftings might be. So Willissa, once again, welcome to Sitting with Shireen.
Thank you, Shireen. I am excited to be here. Looking forward to our conversation.
I know. Yes. It's always a good time whenever we get, you know, the reason why we are here is because of a number of conversations that we would have had in the past. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to show, normally I like to give a little bit of background, but we're going to save that for a little later tonight. But at this moment, we're going to go into our first question, which is, if you can recall, at what age did you know what you wanted to be? And tell us what that was and how you knew for sure.
I think from I've known myself, from a little girl, I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I taught stuffed animals. My favorite students were the guests that came by the house. I always had worksheets and assignments for them to get done. The true defining moment, I do remember one time my mommy asking me, for sure, Willissa, is this really what you want to do? This was around the choosing your major time, choosing which college you'll go to. And of course, my father was a proponent for Lee University.
I can imagine.
And I said to him, no, I want to do teaching, and I can do that right at the College of the Bahamas. So I was always certain,
that that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, so I can't put an age to it. From I've known myself, I wanted to be a teacher.
And that in itself is a blessing. You know, at very early ages, parents have the ability to see that their child is kind of staring along this direction. And I'm happy that you mentioned that your mom came in and she stepped and she said, is this what you want to do? She probably knew within herself, knowing a child, watching your characteristics, she knew that this is something that you want. So she ensured that she reaffirmed.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, she reaffirmed you.
And the thing about it, my family, they would call, could you help me draft this letter? Could you help me with this? Could you help me with that? And so that really helped to bring some clarity too. I like how you said that your family would always call, can you help me too? Because as an educator, the word help is what I believe is the basis of any educator. Absolutely.
Is that what it is?
It's a service.
Yeah.
What is it that you need help with so that I can serve you and help you in that regard? Absolutely. It's a helping profession.
And I love that. And one of the reasons we're here tonight is because we want to help you. So that teacher, that educator will come out tonight and she will try to help us steer us in the direction of where we ought to be. Sister, well, I call me sister. I just have that habit of calling people sister while we sit on the seat, and guess what? It does not even matter. I love that because you are my sister.
Yes.
You are my sister and the Lord. And you are my sister in ministry. There's so many things and ways that you are my sister. And together we are here tonight helping you, our sisters and brothers, with our profession and our areas of passion. Now, I think now is a good time for me to go into that background. So, Willissa mentioned that she wanted to be a teacher and she knew this from a very long, from the early age, from the onset. When I first met Willissa, she knows this now. She did not know this then. My youth group went to Freeport to our friends in ministry over there at the time to a youth retreat. I think that was the best youth retreat that I have ever attended.
I think so.
Okay, and that's something that we need to get back into doing nowadays for our young people. But Willissa was one of the presenters at that time, and here's how you know that a teacher is a good teacher. Years later, if I could remember the lesson, you know you had to be impactful, okay? And Willissa taught simply on a 5-finger prayer. Do you remember that?
Yes.
A 5-finger prayer. And she made that lesson just come alive. And to this day, it still has impact on me. And I looked at you and I said, oh my gosh, this is someone who I need to emulate. Someone of excellence, someone who takes time and puts her best foot forward, even when it seems to be something little. Okay? And I said to myself, I have to know this lady. I got to get to know this lady. And that's why my memory of that, Willissa, is one of the reasons why you are sitting with us here today. And I have watched that characteristic about you over the years. Okay?
I appreciate that.
So ladies, we want to find ourselves in an environment where women, men around us are persons who we can take a page out of their book, apply it to our lives, and make ourselves better because of that. Okay? That's just a little bit of dropping in on who I think Willissa is and a little bit of background. But we're going to go straight into our story because Willissa's professional life was indeed a journey where she saw the hand of God carry her straight through. Now let's go into question number 2. Now you shared with me the story of how things lined up for you being an educator, and there were a number of stories, but I want you to share with us how things lined up for you as you pursued your career in education and some of the challenges or victories that you would have experienced throughout the journey.
So remember I said all of my life I wanted to be a teacher.
Yes.
And then something happened. I will never forget it. I don't remember the occasion. I was still living home in Freeport, and the family had gathered for one of our big potlucks. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I had this crate on wheels that I would take books with me around. And it was to settle my conscience. You know, I want to be social, I want to be out, but I also need these books because I need to settle my mind, right? We had eaten, and then the family started to go into little pockets, dominoes, napping, movies, you name it. And I sat there at the table with my crate of books, and I said, this doesn't make me happy.
Oh, wow.
Everyone is allowed to have fun, and here it is, I am marking books. And so all I ever wanted to be was a teacher, and I found myself, I'm like, what do I do now? How do I remain in the school setting? How do I remain impactful in children's lives? But how do I ensure that obviously my value of family time is not infringed on? And an opportunity happened for me to begin studying to become a school counselor.
Okay.
The advertisement came out, and I applied, and you know, it's all fun and games until you see the money attached to it. And that's when reality really set in. I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? Of course, your parents are always going to help you. But I was cognizant, I have a sister, I have a brother, and they've already invested in me. So wanting to be fair, I took a flight of faith.
Okay, I love that.
I flew into Nassau, and at the time there was a lady by the name of Dr. Sonia Wisdom, who was responsible for graduate studies. And I said to her, I don't have all of the money, but I really want to be a part of the program. So she says, well, there's no payment plan. And she says, but let me see what I can work out for you. And sure enough, I don't know what happened, I don't know what the intricacies were like, but I was able to begin the program. And her thing was, if you flew all the way here to have a conversation with me, you must be really serious about this thing.
Yes.
And that started the journey to become a school counselor. And I stayed in that profession for, I want to say, 13 years,
Okay.
thereabout.
I have to say that the number
Yeah.
13, in a previous interview that I had, the number 13, when it came to a person's career span, came up. And as I sit there and I think to myself, I believe that in my first career in banking, I stayed about 13 years. Maybe the Lord is saying something to his people around the number of 13. But we'll get into that a little later. I just thought that was so interesting to just drop in there. But you said that you took a flight of faith. And well, I said the word faith is something that, as we talk, off screen, it's something that I have always seen you operate in.
Absolutely.
A lot of persons would not have said to themselves, oh, I don't have the money, let me try this anyway. A lot of persons say, I don't have the money, I'm not going to bother with it. I don't have the money, I'm not going to ask.
Yeah.
How important is it, would you say, for someone who is confident in who they want to be, to avoid the obstacles, but take the flight of faith? How would you say, how important is it for persons?
It is so important, because if we go by what we see, we'd be discouraged.
Yes.
We wouldn't make any moves. And we know that scripture says faith without works is dead.
Precisely.
What are you prepared to do that's within your scope of ability to show God that I'm really serious about this thing? And please meet me halfway.
Yes.
If he owns the hill, the cattle on 1,000 hills,
That's word, sis.
and he takes care of the fowl of the air, and he talks about us being so much more valuable to him than those things, what is a tuition payment?
What is a tuition payment?
What is a tuition payment?
Come on.
And so I move by faith.
Yes.
I think my biggest faith move remains 2016, when I moved here.
Yes.
Profession again. I was here for the summer with my sister, and I felt a peace that I just hadn't felt in a while. And I said, I feel so free, I feel so liberated. And at the time, the environment where I was working in, it was going through some changes, and change can be very uncomfortable for people, particularly when there's poor communication. And you leave people to think about things on their own. And so I said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I called my mom and I'm like, Mommy, I don't think I want to go back. So she says, Willissa, pray about it. And if you get peace, if you have peace about it, you have no kids. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Figure it out. And I resigned from my post on the Friday. And I went back home on a Tuesday to accumulate my things. I'm saying I'm moving to Nassau for this fresh start. And for the first time in life, I was going to wing it.
What?
Yeah. Like,
what's that?
I don't have a plan, I'm going to wing it.
What?
And that Tuesday, I had just landed in Freeport, and I was gathering my bags off of the conveyor belt, and I got this call. It was a lady who identified herself as Miss Forbes from the Ministry of Education's Human Resources Department. And she said, I don't know if you still want to work for us, because this application is 5 years old.
5 years.
But they put it on my desk, so I'm calling.
Oh, wow.
And I said to her, actually, yes. I do want to work. I do want to work, but I'm moving to Nassau because, of course, at that time I applied for a post in Freeport. And I said to her, I'm moving to Nassau, so I'll need to be placed in Nassau. And she says, I'm not the boss. I don't make those kinds of decisions. I'll call you back. And I said, Jesus, these government people, they don't call you back. I didn't get the woman's number, and she called back that very day.
Oh, wow.
Surprised me. Called back that very day.
That's a God move, okay?
She says, I don't know where we're going to post you, but we'll post you in Nassau.
Wow.
And so when I thought I was going to wing it, a 5-year-old application, which required me to fill out a new application, take a whole new picture, it came right when I needed it. And honestly, that took my faith to another
I can
level.
imagine.
I am a product of faith.
Oh yes, wow.
Because you don't always have the resources,
Yes.
but we serve a God who has all of the resources.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks be to God.
Yeah.
I am a product of faith.
Yeah.
And we have not even gotten to where Willissa is today. The same faith
Yeah.
that she had at the beginning of her professional journey, she is using it. Like I said, I see it step by step, even in our conversations off air. This woman exudes, she exercises her faith. Okay,
Yes.
she exercises her faith. Let's go into the next question, and that is one of the things that I observe about you and admire.
Thank you.
Is that you exhibit a subtle confidence that is so graceful. Don't you feel it here tonight, everyone? Yet it gets results. How did you develop this level of confidence, or how did you develop such great faith?
My mom is my first teacher.
Yeah.
I, as a little girl, would sit on the edge of the bed and I would watch her get dressed. But she had a rule. She would say, children and I, we don't wear the same clothes.
Thank you.
You know? And as an adult now, I
you get it.
understand, you know? But she would let me, on special occasions, try on this or try on that. But I always admired the way that she presented herself.
Yeah.
And of course, as I got older, she would ask me, what is it that you're going to wear? And I would pick out whatever. And if it was good enough, she would say, oh, that's nice. Or if I needed a store run, we would go shopping. And so grace was taught through observation. For me, I honestly feel that number one, we are to dress the way we want to be addressed. And number two, people respect you based on the way that you respect yourself.
Okay.
As it relates to faith, I too believe that faith was taught to me. In addition to having the passion to pursue excellence in your profession. I talk about how I remembered the days when my mom, she always did night classes, or she was always learning something. This lady, Shireen, would wake up early in the morning, cook breakfast, and cook dinner, because she knew that night she had evening class. And someone would stay in the house with us, but the dinner was already prepared, and she was learning.
Yeah, she did not neglect her motherly duties.
No.
I mean, these women like your mom are women whom I admire.
How did they do it?
That's my thing.
How?
Today I'm like, how?
It's only me. I'm not cooking breakfast for myself early in the morning.
It's true. It's the truth of the matter.
When I get off from work, I'm exhausted. I'm not cooking dinner for myself.
Well, listen,
I'm tired.
I had to take a nap. I have to, maybe not a nap, but I have to unwind, let the day kind of wear off for a minute, and then I'll back up and be like, okay, this is round two. Obviously, this is round two, which is why sometimes at night, 10 o'clock, if I'm a part of a committee, all of my text messages,
they're around that time.
All of my emails are around that time, because I've separated my day into two.
Yes.
Because it's the first Caesar's job, and then it's my job. But the women like that are the example of how we are to live today.
Absolutely.
They've been graced with a double grace, though, I believe.
Oh, my goodness.
I have been. Thank God for mamas, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So go on. You mentioned also that you believe that we are to dress the way, or person, there's a level of respect. How is that? How do we present ourselves in the professional world? How is presenting yourself equivalent to the level of respect that you will receive in your profession? Even when it came to the ladies who you would have spoken to, you always stood with assurance or confidence, like we said. How is that for persons who are pursuing the journey of profession?
It is so important. Professionalism it has so many tiers. Professionalism talks about you showing up on time. It talks about you working efficiently and effectively. It talks about you adorning yourself in a way that when you go into rooms and spaces, you feel good. When you look good, you feel good.
So true.
You give it your best when you know, I belong here. There is space in this room for me. My voice matters. My opinions matter. What I have to contribute to the conversation, it matters. And I really believe all that is connected to the way we adorn ourselves.
And I want to say that is because the way we look or adorn ourselves outwardly is only a reflection of what's on the inside.
True.
Okay, so that's very
posture.
important for the person who is being the profession. Now your profession has shifted.
Yes.
You are still an educator.
Indeed. And always will be.
Always will be an educator. Once an educator, always an educator. Your profession has shifted. Share with us the difference, if there is any. You know, we mentioned that once an educator, always an educator. But from those school counselor days, what is Willissa up to now? Or should I say, Dr. Liz? Okay.
What am I up to now? I have the privilege of serving at the nation's premier institution, the University of the Bahamas.
Big ups to the Mingos.
Yes. I started there in February 2022 as a career and job placement counselor. And within recent weeks, 3 weeks to be exact, I took on a new role as training specialist and director of private and public sector training.
I love that for you.
And that is in alignment with my terminal degree in organizational learning and leadership with an emphasis in human resource development. So creating niche courses for the professionals who may not want to get a full degree, but understands that as long as you're alive, you should be growing and wanting to embrace the journey of lifelong learning. So what are the changes? I went from a fourth grade teacher to a K through 12 counselor, through a university counselor, to now someone who is planning niched courses for adults. So I'm covering the scope of education, and it's been quite a rewarding and fulfilling journey. I wouldn't change anything.
I can imagine. And having faith, ensuring that professionally you look who you are on the inside. All of this contributes to the journey of advancement, elevation, and even sticking to who you are throughout the journey of profession. Ladies, men, wherever you are, have faith in the journey. Willissa is a product, as she said, and we have to put this in inverted commas. This is a hashtag. I am a product of faith. In the second part of our conversation, which will come up really soon, we are going to continue in the journey of profession as well as the journey of Willissa's passion. Trust me, this faith through her profession has transferred through the passion that the Lord has ingrained on the inside of her. And on the second part of this conversation, we're going to get into that. Willissa, thank you so much for the first segment. We're going to get into it.
Thank you.
So don't forget to join us here at Sitting with Shireen as we continue this conversation, the journey of profession and passion with Dr. Willissa Mackey. Coming up next on Sitting with Shireen.
There is a level of authenticity that I feel we as singers, carriers of God glory, we should always carry. Performance, really? I know. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to encourage you along your journey. I'm here to build your faith and to put into lyrics the greatness of this God that we serve.